Testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee, a woman who nearly died under a barbaric Texas anti-choice law had some strong words for her two Republican senators. Intrigued? Then click that like and subscribe and enjoy the video. So last year, when the regressively conservative supermajority in the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey in the Dobbs decision, which basically threw abortion back to the states, a lot of people, myself included, said that though this might seem like a Republican victory, it may not be, because they're the dog that caught the car, right? They've been chasing Roe v. Wade for decades. And like a dog chasing a car, once you finally catch it, what are you going to do with it? And we saw in the aftermath of the Dobbs decision that the Republican Party suffered one major negative political consequence after another. As a matter of fact, most people believe, with good reason, that the Dobbs decision and the Republican Party's attitudes towards abortion and many of the trigger laws that went into effect, in which, some very strongly regressive anti-choice laws, going into effect in red states across the country, like abortion bans like 6 weeks and earlier, or 6 weeks and under, including, in some cases, no exceptions for incest or rape or things like that. I mean, it's incredibly barbaric anti-choice laws, which are wildly unpopular, even in most red states like Kentucky and Kansas, where there were public referendums on the right to have an abortion, and even the public in those conservative red states were like, nah, we support the right to have an abortion, with very few, relatively few checks on them, right? That most people in this country, including in red states, support the Democrats' view of the right to an abortion, right? Some restrictions, like there were on Roe v. Wade, where in the third trimester, you just couldn't arbitrarily get an abortion. There had to be a health concern involved. But basically, the majority of people in the United States want access to an abortion. Texas passed a very regressive, very dangerous anti-choice law. And what we have here is a woman named Amanda Zurawski, who nearly died under this anti-choice law in Texas. And there's a video, I'm going to play. But before I do, I want to set the stage. So she was denied abortion care after she had pregnancy complications. 18 weeks into her pregnancy, her water broke, which put her at high risk for a life-threatening infection. Her baby, named Willow, was sure to die. Willow still had a heartbeat, and so doctors said that under Texas law, with this, heartbeat law, that they were unable to terminate the pregnancy. Zurawski told lawmakers Wednesday that she received an emergency abortion only after her condition worsened and she went into septic shock, adding that she may have been one of the first patients affected in the state of Texas after Roe was overturned, removing the federal right to an abortion. So that was what she suffered, and as a consequence, she is suing Texas for this regressive law that nearly killed her. But here's what she had to say in front of the United States Congress, the Senate Judiciary Committee. She was a witness for the Democrats. This is what she had to say. It's powerful stuff.
And I wanted to address my senators, Cruz and Cornyn, who neither of whom regrettably are in the room right now. But I would like for them to know that what happened to me, I think most people in this room would agree, was horrific. But it's a direct result of the policies that they support. I nearly died on their watch. And furthermore, as a result of what happened to me, I may have been robbed of the opportunity to have children in the future. And it's because of the policies that they support. What happened to me was horrible, but I am one of many. And quite frankly, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have a husband that could take me to the hospital. I don't have other children that I had to worry about finding health care for. I have a job that was understanding, that allowed me to grieve for 3 days as I waited to almost die. What about all of the women that don't have those same opportunities, that don't have access to health care, that don't have health insurance, that don't have a partner? What about them?
That's powerful stuff. So what you have here is a woman who intended to carry her pregnancy to full term, right? She wanted to have the child, according to this, and it wasn't her intention to have an abortion until her water broke early and she needed to have one done. And she nearly died, as she said, under policies that are supported by Republicans like Ted Cruz and John Cornyn of Texas, and many Republicans writ large. This is powerful testimony, and people who suffer under Republican, regressively conservative and dangerous and outdated and antiquated and punitive and misogynistic Republican anti-choice laws need to speak up like this directly, not with platitudes, not with indirect accusations, bluntly. She named the senators of her state, the Republican senators of her state, who support the law that nearly got her killed. That sort of direct, blunt condemnation, we need more of it. And Democrats need to continue to spread stories like this and make the horrors associated with anti-choice laws much more prevalent than what they currently are. So this is powerful testimony, and it's an indictment of Republican anti-choice law.